Team soy sauce. What happened to your shelter?
Godzilla!
Sorry?
Alright, so Godzilla King of the Monsters is the sequel to the 2014 Godzilla movie, and in this movie, Godzilla, being the good guy again, faces not only one, not only two, but three other monsters in a battle to hopefully restore balance to humanity on Earth. But look, Godzilla doesn't really need an explanation. I mean, I'm sure most people who have just seen the 2014 Godzilla movie like I have probably already know what these movies are about. You know, monster battles, a shit ton of action, cool visuals, and that pretty much sums up the only good parts in this movie. After I watched the post-credit scene for Kong Skull Island back in 2017, which hinted the new Godzilla movie, it got me really excited for this. Mostly because it was kind of like introducing this monsterverse, and I like that, you know? I like when films intertwine with each other to create this kind of universe, such as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you know what? I actually enjoyed Skull Island. Well, at least I did back then. I haven't rewatched it since though, but unfortunately I can't say the same for this movie. I am glad that they worked on the criticism from the first movie and gave us much more of Godzilla and the monster battles this time around. And that was great because there were some really good scenes. The CGI was good and it looked visually stunning. I also don't mind the story. I like how it talks about how these monsters are the natural rulers of Earth, and it also talks about some real life problems. Like how Earth is continuously overpopulating and we as humans are, you know, an infection, like we're destroying the Earth. Which is true, you know? And how do we fix this? By letting the monsters run free and wreak havoc in the world. Yeah, I don't know about that part, but it's just the way that this is executed that is the main problem. The storytelling is very boring, the story writing is questionable, and sometimes it doesn't even make any sense. I really didn't feel any connection to any of the characters because most of them just felt like they were there to just tell the story, and that's pretty much it. This film stars a lot of people, and I found it really hard to care for any of them. If I had to care for any of the characters, it would probably be the family of three. You know, Millie Bobby Brown as the daughter, Vera Farmiga as the mother, and Mark Russell as the father. Because there were some emotional scenes with them, and you kind of somewhat feel a connection with them, but I kind of wish this theme was explored a lot more though. And this is a reoccurring theme that we have seen with other similar monster movies, such as Pacific Rim. It's a reoccurring theme of making the monsters look cool, but making the story and characters feel very bland. But honestly, I'm not so surprised. I mean, I was going into this movie kind of expecting what I ended up getting, and that's mainly because of my experience with these types of movies. They focus so much on making the monsters look really epic, and don't get me wrong, that's great, you know, because it's such an integral part to these movies. But come on, the story and the characters are just as important. And I really didn't feel that with this movie. I was in the theater like, oh. Yes, monsters fighting and stuff. Cool, awesome, holy shit. I didn't actually fall asleep in the theaters. I almost. And I don't know if that's because I slept 5 hours yesterday or because the movie was very boring. Probably both. But the action sequences were awesome, you know? It's just that everything else was not as awesome. The final act of the movie was easily the best part for me. It was just a gigantic monster showdown. It really woke me up. I kind of wish I saw the monsters fight in more creative ways though. Well, if you only want to see epic monster fights, then by all means, go and watch this movie. Just don't expect everything else to be as good. But hey, I mean, I'm actually somewhat excited for the Godzilla vs. Kong movie that's coming out next year. I think that might be better than this one. I'm going to give Godzilla King of the Monsters a C. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have you seen the movie? What did you think about it? Please leave a comment about your thoughts below. Like the video if you liked it, and drop a sub to help the channel out. Also, feel free to check out my previous videos. Until next time.